My Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arakia Galadirthan, and welcome back to Humankind, as Mount Precious and the Caralans extend forth into the world, creating their empire. Now, last time we managed to set up our first city, and we've started colonizing some of the territories around that, and we've met a few people. Interestingly, since last time, the Phoenicians have now managed to actually exploit the ebony within their region, and as mentioned before how important trade is, that 3 industry in our cities will be a nice little boost, but mostly it's all about the stability. But also there's a number of infrastructures later on that will make trade all the better. It makes no odds, and that one's slightly more expensive. So if you get your trade lines set up early doors, then the infrastructure that you'll build later will improve that. Now, in terms of giveaways, again, let's just briefly touch on that. At the end of the video, I will announce who won from episode number 1. But remember that this video and the next, and then the 4th as well, all have giveaways as well. So the first 3 episodes you can win Humankind, and it's one giveaway per episode. And then in episode 4, what I'm going to do is just all 3 Cultures of Africa DLCs will be given away in that one go. So the first 4 episodes will all have giveaways. Many congratulations to whoever did win. These videos are going to go up on Thursday afternoons at 2 o'clock each Thursday, and it's 2 o'clock my time. I'm in London, so you can work that out. I will, as I say, announce the winner at the end, so do stay tuned for that. I have once again as well put timestamps in the video if I talk about anything very specific, but the first episode is likely to be the most intricate as I covered the basics of what is happening, whereas from now on it's likely to be a little less. Now that you know the basics, I don't need to go into as much detail on certain aspects. But of course, whenever I take any decision, I'm going to be talking about it. So we're heading over here for that. And ideally, I really want this region before the Egyptians are able to scoot over and get it. So we've just met 3 more people as well. We've got the Nubians. The Nubians are playing as Dark Arrow. Oh, bugger, I thought I turned them off. I thought I'd used only normal ones. Dark Arrow is one of the game's developers. This is a personalized AI persona, which means he's going to be better than the others because he has a 10% additional fame gain bonus. Fame, of course, is how we actually win. And as you will note, he is currently storming it into the lead with 825 fame compared to my... Oh, no, I'm not grey, am I? I am grey. Oh, it did... What? Well, that's most peculiar. Now I'm grey. With my 410. He also has 15% extra industry on all of his cities, so his cities are better. And he retaliates as well. He's vindictive, so he doesn't get things that happen to him. He's very cautious, and he favours defensive play styles. Where are the Nubians? All the way up there, so very far away from me. We've also met Egypt now. The Egyptians are Makeda. She's open. She's trusting. She gets assimilation bonuses, which relates to independent peoples. We haven't met any independent peoples, but I did mention about how this region here is likely to become independent later on, so she gets benefits for that. We're also hoping to build a territory up in this region, because obviously we need that, and then these fellas are going to go and try and nab this region as well. In fact, you should probably go and do that. Yes, that's a much better idea, because it's unlikely anyone's going to steal this one from us, because it's quite literally surrounded by our own regions. We will be able to get it very easily, so I doubt anyone will chase us for that. Oh. The Babylonians, ancestor. He takes risks. He's adaptive. He gets better scouts, cheaper colonies, cheaper territories, sorry. And he likes to expand everywhere all at once. Oh, and he's got some gold for 302. That's a bit expensive, isn't it? That's a bit over the top, don't you think? And there we are. That territory has indeed come into existence. Rosalas, until it actually turns into a city, we can't do anything with it yet. But when it becomes a city, we're going to try and get that one for free from our city cap. Oh, they've started to feel condescending against us because we don't really have any military. But you're very far away from me, so I'm not overly bothered by that. We're not too concerned about that. How much is it going to cost to build us influence here? Oh, I know, only another turn or so. And we've had another... Yes, I will gladly trade with you. Ideally, I'd like to be your ally. So he's got Mercury, 2% science on all our cities. And silver, 2 science per silver on research quarter. No, that's just 2 science per mercury, not on your cities. It's 2%. So my science at the moment is 16, which is all coming from my single city. But that is the total of all of my cities combined. So if I were to buy his mercury, then all of my science is improved by 2% from every source. If you're wondering what the Wondrous effect is, down below, so you can see there's a Wondrous effect of 5% science per mercury on all cities, and every single resource has a Wondrous effect. All that means is if you are able to establish a monopoly on a feature, so you must exploit at least 2 out of 4 T's, which I already have. So you need to exploit more than half of all of the resources in the world, and all the way up in the eras, going all the way along, right up into the early modern era, you get patronage. Patronage allows you to build a luxury manufactory, which gives you fame every time you build it. And it gives you 3 money if you've got market quarters next to it. And it gives you a flat 30 stability, which is very nice. But you build that building on a deposit that you have more than half of, and you'll get the Wondrous effect. So you can see 10% food on all cities if we can be the first to get that. And I say the first because only 1 manufactory can be built per resource in the world. So you are chasing the AI to that and hoping to beat them, which is very difficult because they're very good and they get advantages in basically everything. Aha, another person. Oh no, another independent nation. So this peninsula isn't a peninsula. It is in fact a land bridge. Aha, we've met another civic. So do we make it cheaper to hire their armies, which will push us towards the food generation? Or do we make it cheaper to assimilate their cities, which pushes us towards the 2 combat strength? We are going to make it cheaper to assimilate them because that's far more common, and it's arguably better.
Assimilation does seem practical.
Oh, we got another era star. That's good. So we're creeping up. We are creeping up. It's mad to me that we were green and now we are grey, because I did choose green when I started this campaign. Oh, there's a nice 518 there. Yeah, let's chuck that down while we're here because we want that tea. It's not tea, is it? We want that. It is tea. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, we'll get a 3rd tea. Nice. Can we get around the mountain? Oh, no. Please don't be. Oh, no. Yes, we can get around the mountain, and we've learned that by running away. So these violent bastards have been hounding us out already. That's disappointing. And another. Yes, the Phoenicians want to come into our territory.
What to make of this?
Yeah, go on then.
This is good for us.
Have we got trade everything on? Yes, we have. I need you for my other horse. Something that I misspoke about in the first episode, and let me just correct that now. When I built a maker's quarter, and I said I was going to build it here, and I didn't. If I built it over here, it said I'd get -1 food, but it didn't take into account the fact that there's 2 food there and there. Well, unfortunately, I'm afraid I was incorrect. A maker's quarter will exploit industry tiles next to it, and that's why you can see on the map there that it goes from 0 to 2 on the right hand side, and then on the northwestern one it goes 0 to 1. But you'll note the food on the northeastern tile, which there's a 1 there at the moment, and it disappears. That's because a maker's quarter cannot exploit food, and similarly a farmer's quarter can't exploit industry. So that building a maker's quarter over there would have been relatively a bad idea, because that is a food heavy area. You would instead have wanted to have gone for a farmer's quarter there, which would give us faith and food. So the exploitations, you need to line up the districts with the right type of exploitation in order to truly make use of it, and that's just something that I was incorrect about, so apologies for that. Mount Praesis really is not very good though in terms of its industry, so we really could do with keep boosting that, get that next one up as well. We're desperate to upgrade Dalim as quickly as possible. That should be our main goal, but not at the cost of getting this region. I just want to get this region before the Egyptians get it, and then we'll upgrade Dalim. So that's what we're at. So what I think I'll do, as we are now hopefully just going to be avoiding the AI and scouting about and getting this outpost up, is this will be the first cut point, and I'll see you ideally when we have a little bit more influence and we can do the next thing. Welcome then. Our second city is founded. Let's have a look at the world. So since we've managed to expand around through fighting a number of times, or rather running away. My scout has been chased all over the damned world by the people from Avaris and then down here in Sus as well. And as you can now see, the bears are after him as well. So this regiment over here, which I haven't renamed, has been given nothing but grief. But we've set up our second city down in the south, and I've called it Ocean's Bounty because that's a suitably bizarre name. We're going to go straight for the influence again because influence is so important in the start of the game. Getting the influence buildings up as quickly as possible, and I will speed up the building of that when I am able. We make a reasonable amount of money at the moment, courtesy of a number of trade routes, which we'll get onto in a second. And once we have that up, I would like my unique district. There's a 9+3 there. +8, +4, +1. Oh, that's not very good at all. We get +2 there. That's because this counts as a district. And as you'll see, it's +2 faith per adjacent district. So it starts with an extra, a little bit of faith there. But that does seem to be the best location at the moment. Because it's the best location, so we'll chuck it down there. Now, we've got a scout here and obviously a scout here. Scouts can be upgraded a lot later on into... Well, they can be upgraded into... horsemen, I think they upgraded to horsemen if memory serves. I don't know very well because I normally always get rid of my scouts, which is something I am going to do as well. Because if you disband a unit in the area of a city, which I'm about to show you, that army unit joins the populace. So Mount Pratius goes from 8 to 9 people. And what's the money loss? 7. And what's the building increase? An extra turn. Yeah, I'll take that. So something that you can do is raise an army, and then if you feel that you don't need them anymore, you can disband them so as to get that population back into your cities, and it's a fairly common tactic. Right, now that we're a couple of turns away, we can get an outpost over here. The cost of outposts is reduced because we've turned one into a city, so we then have one less territory that we can claim. The city of Hyksos, or Avaris, sorry, has been founded. Let's start making them like us. Now, you don't actually need to pay them if you start right next to them, and crucially you have a city that borders them. So at the moment I don't border Hyksos with a city because Coit isn't attached to any of my cities, so they won't naturally start to like me. But when I then either border them or by paying them, as you've just seen me do there, once I get them up to above 90, I can buy them for 225 influence, which, as you will note, it cost me 240 influence to make Ocean's Bounty. So I get to buy a city for about 15 less influence than it costs to build one myself, to convert into one. But let's have a look around the world now that we're set up. Now remember, this is a new world game map, which means that in the fog of war over here is the other continent that no one starts on. And it'll be a while before anyone gets there. But we're in a good place to get there because we're down here on the sea. Also, as soon as we can nip across to these two islands, we'll take them as well so we can get the resources. To nip across to those islands, we need trade expeditions. So you can't go into the sea at all until you reach the classical era. Now, you can get ships. So this is a very clear distinction. A ship is a unit that sails the sea and is always a ship. Land units, though, turn into a ferry, basically. And the first ferry research is the trade expeditions over here. Naval transport, you can see it in the name there. That's what that gives you. So that would allow us to transfer around the sea. So even though you can get fishing and sailing up, neither of those gives you the ability to sail the seas. You need to get up into the second era to do it. Or you need to choose a scientific nation in era 1, and they will take you up to... because scientific cultures can research one era into the future. Oh hey, we have another civic, and it's the one that we want because it gives us an extra city cap. For 76 influence, we can get another free city, and we also then jump up to the extra 2 influence on all emblematic districts. At the moment, we've got 2 emblematic districts, so that will give us 4. The alternative is 25 more stability in your capital, but that's just not... I don't think that's ever worth it. It's very easy to maintain stability, particularly in your capitals, and I just don't think that's necessary at all, to be honest. Our pottery workshop is good to go. Let's get that built so that we can then start working on our next emblematic quarter. Similarly over here, we're running out of food, so we either can now build a farmer's quarters over here, which will give us 5 extra food, but crucially will give us another farmer's job. So the potential to earn more food, because I can move a person over there and it'll rise to 4 food a turn rather than losing food, which is exactly what we want to do because we don't really want to lose food. But obviously it drops our industry down for the maker's quarter, so but it is only affecting it by 1. I'm tempted with the science instead, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll move a scientist over. It's generally best in the early stages to just leave this unbalanced and then just move the people around as and when you need to move them. But note that as soon as that next person joins us in 1 turn, we will then be losing food again. So it's imperative that we do get a job. But we have our first infrastructure that will give us a job. Certain buildings, not districts, certain buildings do give extra job slots, and the granary is the first of that line. It gives us an extra farmer, and it gives us 2 food per farmers. So we're not too worried about the food that's giving us, because as you can see at the very bottom of the tooltip, it's only giving us 6 food in this city, whereas the animal barns will give us 10 food, which is considerably better. Because that's using the 2 horses that we've got. 1 traded from the Phoenicians and 1 from Ocean's Bounty. But because we want the job, that's why we're going to go granary first. And if stability does start to become a worry, which it will do in a moment, because we've only got a 1% surplus, and there's going to be a -10 hit when we make that Maker's Quarter, we do need stability over here, but we'll do that by building the Obelisk of the Gods, which I'm tempted to push for now and get them both on it while we can. Because... oh, that's a big change, isn't it? That is a big change. 12 turns with them involved, it might drop down to about 10 turns, and then we could just push through, because it's ideal to try and get faith going. The Harappans are spreading faith far more readily than we are, and the Egyptians have got polytheism on the go as well, the cheeky buggers. But let's just end the turn for now. I want to get this region set up before we worry about getting that extra city. Oh, 2 more stars, and we could now go up in era if we want to. You'll note the Egyptians are running away with that as well. We'll go 7-15, I think, because we're in a fairly food-light area. Laravak. You'll note the Egyptians are currently in first place. So the Egyptians are the circular sun, Makeda. But Makeda is a default personality, and she's not a particularly good one. She's a fairly average person. It's Dark Arrow as the Nubians that we've got to watch out for. And he obviously is in second place, but quite considerably so. The Egyptians are storming it. There might need to be an early war, methinks, against these Egyptians. But still no one has this region, but the Phoenicians look like they're coming for it. So let's get over there and get ready to steal that. We've just researched bronze working, so we can now utilise the copper in our region and build a forge, which gives 5 industry per copper. So I mentioned that strategic resources have less uses in the previous episode, but there are a couple of buildings, and that again is another example of a building that is directly affected by your strategic resources. So now that once we build that forge, we will want to trade for other people's copper to make use of our own forge. But what I think we should definitely do while we're here is go for writing so that we can get the cheaper civic. I can't imagine that in 12 turns I don't think we're going to be owning Avaris. We won't go up just yet. That would be foolhardy. So we've got a long time before Avaris becomes ours, at 2 per turn. I mean, a very long time. But we don't really want to enact another civic until we've got that cheaper cost, just because it's a saving, isn't it? And we might have a fellow on science from here by then. 4 turns they've got until they go up. So let's hold off on that for the moment. Phoenicians, you please do not steal that region from me. I want to set up... I've already had a look. We want to set up our outpost on that spot just there. So if we can sneak past while they're being fought, we might just do it. So that's our hope. Let's try and sneak through. They're running away. They've been fought by someone else. We're in the region. Is it best to just drop it? And because they're going to attack us, aren't they? I think I'm just going to drop it on that hill in the next turn, and then just chance it. Oh, the Zhao don't want any aggression. Where are you? Miles away. That's no concern to us. The Babylonians are a bit sandwiched, and annoyingly... Oh, the Phoenicians and Babylonians. Are you at war? No. The Babylonians have stolen the Phoenicians' Unukalai, which is going to be... I've actually, annoyingly and rather disappointingly, I've allied with one of the worst people in the game. Oh, he's pleasant towards us. He is pleasant. He's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Do you agree?
We want to get trade up with him.
We accept.
You're Nubian. So
I'm
the
happy.
symbol that you can see there, that means that he is buying that resource from someone else. And I can buy it from him for as long as he is the Nubians. I can buy that resource from him because he is a merchant civilization. So merchant civs get that extra benefit that they can sell other people's resources. So as a merchant civ, you really do want to harvest up as many resources as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what they are doing. Oh, we've got another new civic as well. We can unlock the action procession, which allows us to spend money to increase stability. I never go for that. I think it's useless. The religious districts, I think, is just all round better. And given that we are swimming in... I'm wondering if it's worthwhile waiting the 8 more turns for that. No, we might as well. No, because we need that. Of course we do. That would have been a very silly mistake. Right, let's rush the AI to building that. Get it set up before they chase you. Yes. It uses up all our movement points, but we can still retreat. But if they attack us, then we're dead. You can only retreat once. They don't seem to be. We might be all right. We might be all right there. Aha, the Nubians have gone for trade everything. Yes. I want your copper very much, and I want your horses very much. No, and you've got a lot of good resources. Oh, no, you're buying all the resources from everyone. So I've traded with them. I've traded with as many people as I can. Honestly, at the start of the game, that's pretty much all your money is for. Trade with everyone. Get that trade up. 11 industry from that forge, that's good. And now the animal barns gives 15 food, which now makes it a definite no-brainer and a win over the other district. Oh, we've got an event in Ocean's Bounty. Oh, this is the eunuchs event, isn't it? We can either... So they use eunuchs, and the rest of the empire doesn't like it. So we can either accept it, that's how they live their life, with no repercussions, and it just pushes us towards the collectivism... individualism, sorry. We can punish them, which gives 5 industry but -5 stability. Pushes us towards the order. The order is the one you don't want. It is the objectively worse. And I will fight you if you disagree. But I just think order is the worst ideology. Freedom, the dove symbol, is much better. Or lastly, we can adopt it, which moves us more towards generating faith and away from generating science, but gives them a stability and minus industry. Now, in this instance, the industry boost is delightful. So I'm going to punish them for that. Because 5 stability we can take. Let's just briefly talk about stability. So with the recent update, you now get to see exactly what your stability surplus is. You can see we've got a 15% surplus here, which is brilliant. That means there's no problems at all. If you have a positive surplus, it will rise up to 100 and stay there. At 100 stability, or at over 90, sorry, your city becomes what's called settled, which you can see underneath the surplus, it says settled. And that means that all of my people here are generating more influence for me than they were before. If it drops below 90, then you start earning less influence on your population, on the people in the city, and you then get a risk of getting negative events as well as good events. Whereas when you're in this highest tier, the chance of getting good events is very high. So positive events are more likely to occur, but negative ones can. Once it drops between the 30 to 90 bracket, there's an equal chance of getting good or bad events. But other than that, and the influence drops, sorry, but those are the only downsides. However, once it goes below 30, then the chance of getting bad events increases exponentially, and the chance that the city will generate rebels, so armies will spawn in that region that you have to fight. And then lastly, there's a risk that it might just outright rebel and leave your empire altogether. So you don't want it to drop below 30, but if it's in the 30 to 90, you are fine. But ideally, obviously, you want over 90. Of course you do. But 30 to 90 is acceptable. You don't need to worry about it until you hit those points. Let's get that tea. Oh, we've already got that tea. Someone's built the tea resource for us. Oh, well, thank you very much, Merchant Civs. Merchant Civs, this building up here, the Land Raiser ability, which I don't want to use at the moment because I will lose all my money and all my science. We could use it in Ocean's Bounty, but even they're making 27 money, which is pretty good. And it would help them speed up their building. But no, I don't think we should use it at the moment. You can always turn it off, though, can't you? I'm tempted to punch through with it for a brief time. Oh, no, but look, we're on 7 turns to get our next that anyway, and we're already flirting with do we go up or not. No, I'm not going to use it. But anyway, the merchant civs, their ability is that they can buy resources, or they can invest in resources. So it does 2 things. The first, if there is if no one has built an exploitation on the resource, so I hadn't built that tea deposit, someone's built it for me, then a merchant player can pay with their own influence to build a resource on that tile for you. It's entirely benevolent. They get no benefit from it. But if they use it on an already existing exploitation, so if they used it on one of these two Ts, they pay a small amount of influence for a large amount of money. And the player who owns the resource also gets some money as well. So in essence, the merchants get a one-off. Every now and then they can do a one-off trade from influence to money. That's how you have to think of it. And that's what it actually gives. We are also getting to the point where I think we could start to think about getting some troops up, because they're starting to really like us as our influence is now starting to spread out to them. 5 a turn we're getting there, and I will definitely. Our ideologies are quite far apart. You can see where they are up on the end. The closer you are in ideologies, the faster this will generate. That's all it does. But even if they hate you, even if you're wildly apart, even if I was at the other end of the axis, I can still get it. So it's not the end of the world. Are there any other resources we can buy from anyone? You've got tea and dye. Oh, you've got dye. Who are you buying the dye from? The Egyptians. Egyptians, how are you doing? We don't trade, shall we? Good idea. I would like your ebony, and I would like your dye. Thank you very much. And I'd really like your horses and copper so that I can get even more food and more industry in my cities. They didn't attack you. Just try and run away. Just try and run away. Scouts are useless in battle. You never want to fight with scouts. That's not their purpose at all. Right, let's hope Larawag can... 9 turns, that's bad, isn't it? They've already got 2 people. We could attach that, but then we do take a stability hit, and it doesn't really give us a benefit till it's at least up at full, other than we do take their food on board. But we also take their people, you see. And people use up food. Your ceremonial plaza can build. That's good. Definitely chuck that in. You definitely need better food here. Your food is not very good. So let's get the 15 food, because that's an excellent boost at this point. And then build me a farmer's quarters as well. Mount Praesis, I can't afford yours. Oh, we've got another trade DT. Yes, Shedders. Let's go scientific as well. These agreements, 5% extra influence. We'll go for that next time. 5% science. Customs union, the buyers are acquitted from non-essential fees, so it makes trading even cheaper. That's all you have to think about for that. And shared logistics just allows you to upgrade your units in an ally's empire, and also heal in an ally's empire as well. We definitely do want fishing and sailing, but we haven't even got organised warfare. How far away are we in terms of stars? Let's have a look. So we need... I don't want to abandon the stars. The science stars. I'm not going to go up yet for a long time. The way to win is just maximise your fame games without nerfing yourself too much. And we're actually in a really good position. This is a very cramped map, as you can see. The independents are everywhere, absolutely everywhere, and they are taking up a lot of space, so no one's really got any room to breathe. Getting onto the new world is going to be so important for this game, and the sooner that we can do that, the better. Right, Praesis is on its way up. I think I am going to Landraiser it for that food, to drop that to 3 turns, because that's going to be very helpful. We can turn that off. We have to wait a turn, so you have to go 1 turn without it. But we'll go 3 turns with it just to boost that as quickly as possible. And then maybe actually also build the obelisk once that's done. Yeah, I think we should do that. So the obelisk can be built anywhere, but it doesn't extract any resources. This is a religious district. Oh, no, hang on. Where are we with writing? Oh, now down at 17 turns. But we've got so much influence. Let's just get it.
I suppose there are some...
And let's get that one as well. Sod it. We've got the influence of them. Now influence isn't all that important to us because we've got no more territories to claim. So we just need to save up enough so that we can take Avaris when it gets to the top, which we will be able to do. So we're not too worried about the civic or that trading. So that's now only going to take 4 turns. So let's check it somewhere useless. That little peninsula there. Build that first, and then if you join in as well. So there's 2 ways of adding to this. It's very handy. You can either click the button above. So this is a world project, which means every city in your empire can be added to it. We only have 2 cities, so it makes no odds. But it's just much quicker than going through every city and manually moving it to the top of the queue. So let's quickly push through on that, get that builder's star up. That's not affected our money too much. And the other benefit as well, another reason why... assimilating independent people is better than just hiring their armies is because assimilated nations give you their armies for free when you assimilate them. Oh, trade everything with the Zhao.
We accept.
Why can't I had your pearls already? Why have they gone?
The world is full of new opportunities.
Yeah, I'll take a non-aggression with you. You've got horses.
Greetings.
Have I bought everything from you that I can? No, it's the Egyptians, isn't it? The Egyptians. We want to trade everything when we can. But we will do that. Only a turn until our... oh, please don't get attacked by that bear. I'm going to disband them. I don't want the scout anymore. They're much more useful as a pop in that city than they are as a scout now. We've been around the world. We've seen everything we can see. Oh, they're happy to do that. Let's push for the alliance. Yes! We are in an alliance with the best player in the game. You have... Yes! It's good for all of us. Let's get that cultural agreement up.
And who are they? Time will tell if they are helpful, helpless, or history. No
There we are.
doubt this
We've pushed him into Ocean's Bounty.
sophisticated customs,
And our
rights,
faith is being
language,
generated.
and beliefs.
Serve,
So,
defend,
will this
lead.
independent people be an ally or an enemy?
Oh, apologies for the man.
Barrier or a blessing?
There are, I cannot deny, and there's no point hiding it or sugarcoating it, there are some bugs with the game. They're only minor. I haven't come across anything that's ever forced a game to end or to break or anything like that. But there are some bugs here and there that you run into with things like that, where he just repeated the same independent people line, and he's now saying it again. Every time we seem to hover over them.
Time will tell if they are helpful, helpless,
And
or history.
really, he should just say that the first time you meet the first independent people, not every single time you ever meet one. So he just says it over and over. And there's a few little things like that that do crop
How
up.
can I say no?
Customs union with them.
That this
Buy their horses again. I thought we already had your horses. I don't know why the trade constantly gets shut off. It's very peculiar. Who are you buying your horse from? The Olmecs. The Olmecs don't really like me. They're condescending.
you have my ear.
We'll try it though.
I think we
No,
can
they've pushed
undertake
for a
common
counter.
venture. Why
Counter is an indicator that that nation's not overly bothered by you, and they're not really interested in going along with what you have to say. But the next stage now, we are pushing through to just try and get a few more, to just really get this up to the point that we can assimilate it. So I think what I'll do is see you all when we jump at that, or unless something dire happens, like we're attacked in the meantime. But until then, I'll see you again when a virus has come into the fold.
An enormous leap forward. From mundane tallies of crops to recording the wisdom of sages. Humankind now wields the most powerful tool of all.
So as you saw there, every now and then there's certain researchers, and we just got the writing one, that just have little intro videos for them as well. It's only the key videos like electricity and writing, and I can't remember, there's a few others. But yeah, there's a few little videos like that just crop up every now and then, and they're always cool to see. Alrighty, so we haven't got a virus just yet, but we're almost there, 83, and then we can take that in. We've got more than enough influence. We're swimming in influence, so we really didn't need to worry about writing. We are really close to going up now. We could wait for the 5 more districts. The scientist stars, I was hoping to get that, because I think by that point we'll definitely have the money star, and we should have the aesthete star as well. So we should be able to get those 3 more stars. We're doing all right with 3rd now, but note that 3 people have now gone up. So, the Carthaginians. The Egyptians have now become the Carthaginians. Makeda. The Carthaginians are another money-making civ, so very different from the Egyptians, but she is growing powerful. But do know that she is also allied to our ally, the Phoenicians, so there's going to be an interesting little playoff there. Already, though, unfortunately, the Olmecs have vassalized the Greeks, the other nation to have gone up, or another nation to have gone up. So, as they are now a vassal, it basically means we have no more communications with them at all. The Olmecs now deal with everything for the Greeks. So, if we can trade with the Olmecs, we can trade with the Greeks. But we can't do anything individually to them anymore, because they are not our vassals. So, it's all done through the Olmecs, yeah. The Olmecs, though, will let us trade, so we can trade there, which means that we can trade with the Greeks as well. So we just have to keep in good relations with their owners, basically. The last one to go up, may not surprise you in any way, is, of course, Dark Arrow with the Mauryaans. The Mauryaans are an industry civ. No, I'm thinking of the Maya. Sorry, getting them confused. Mauryaans are an aesthete civ. So they get influence, and they also get faith, so he's going to be a bit of a faith generator. There's still some good options available for us at the moment, though. The Celts haven't gone, the Maya haven't gone, crucially, and we might want to go Maya to keep with the industry. But we're not going up, as I say, just yet. There's some stars that are very, very within reach. Science Star is, although that is 24 turns away, which is actually quite a lot. So perhaps, maybe not. And we need more districts as well. But we're back on because we can choose our first tenet. So the purple, the Zoroastrianism, has been sought out by the Olmecs. I believe the Olmecs are purple. No, it's the Carthaginians. Oh, it's the Carthaginians. So we have the second biggest religion after the Carthaginians. They've gone for Seek Wisdom, which is 5 science on a strategic resource deposit. Now, that is a strategic resource deposit in your empire, to my knowledge. That is not 5 science on strategic resource full stop, which means, basically, that is not affected by trade. It is how many you have in your region. But it applies to anyone as well. So if the AI follow your religion, they'll get that benefit as well. The common one is Respect the Sea's bounty, which gives you 2 food on coastal water or lakes, which is only if you're exploiting it, though. So we are building our first harbours. We've got one coming up over there, we've got one coming up over there, and we've got one coming up here, which will connect these 2 regions, actually, which will be pretty handy. And so they will all give more food. At this point as well, we can change the look of our, just briefly changing the subject, but we can change the look of our religious site if we want to. So these are all of the options, and these are the ones that the AI will always take. At the minute, we have the obelisk of the polytheism, but you can go with any one that you want. They are all available to you. I've never done the Judaism one, actually. I normally always go Shintoism or Daoism, but I think we'll go with the Judaism. And then we need to choose an option. So we can give more food on lakes. We can give stability on rivers. So any river tile in a city gives +2 stability. We can give 2 industry on forest or 2 industry on woodland. That will give about 8 industry in each of our cities at the moment. Shelter the True Oracles and influence on mountain. That one's very niche and very difficult to make use of. Smite the Unbelievers is always useful, though. 25 experience on creating units and -1 unit upkeep on a unit, so they're all a bit cheaper. Hunt the Infidels, 10 war support when attacking. This is a really confusing line, and I don't know why they use it, but war support increased when winning battle on relations. That just means on anyone. I don't know why it calls them on relations. It should just be war support increased when winning a battle. But the reason it says on relations is because it doesn't apply if you beat an independent people, for example, or if you fought against rebels in your own region. It's only when fighting other major players, and the game's chosen to call those on relations, which I always think is just a bit weird. Or we can go 5 money on luxury resource deposit. I'd be tempted with that one because we know we've got at least 4 of those at the moment. We're going to get 2 more, so that's a flat 60 gold straight away. Which I'd be very tempted with. 40 gold straight away, 60 in the future. And it'll only increase, obviously, the more resource deposits we get. So I think I am going to go reject luxury. We're going to choose Judaism as our temple. So serve, defend, lead now gets little temples instead of little obelisks, as our people thrive and rise. The Caralans religion spreads. We have a benefit with religion because we have that region which gives us religion. And you can see that's spreading around. Zoroastrianism converting up there, which is a shame. And the Harappans are giving us grief. But oh dear, the Zoroastrianism is spreading fiercely. The Carthaginians really are shaping themselves up to be our primary enemy at this point. And they're just begging to be our enemies. Religious tolerance. +3 influence on territories if they follow our religion. And it moves us back away from combat strength back into the middle. Or we can go with 5 faith on territories, which pushes us right up to combat strength. And it gives you, in essence, the holy war grievance. So we can start a war with anyone, or rather we can demand that anybody follows our religion. And if they don't follow our religion, we get a grievance, which means we get a casus belli, a reason to go to war. Generally, I think this one is better because religion's only has bare, reasonable functionality. But having more influence on our territories that follow us, that will be about an extra 30. No, we've got 7 regions, haven't we? So that's an extra 21 influence straight away. But then I don't know if it's better to just beat out everyone's faith and enact and get serve, defend, lead across the continent. +5 faith on territories is pretty cheeky. I am going to go for that. Sod it.
Go down in history as
Let us roleplay this one as religious fanatics. Serve, defend, lead. There's something about religion that just calls me in. I'm like a wannabe religious person. Give me a religion that I can actually really get behind, i.e. it has tangible proof to its existence. And I'm all there for it. Honestly, look, now we can get this grievance against almost everyone.
What can I do for you?
No, I will renounce it in your case as we are friends. Means I can't use it later on. I'm also friends with the Phoenicians, but they should follow it because the Carthaginian bastards. We're definitely going to be going to war with the Carthaginians. It's there on a plate, isn't it? They've already got 2 armies, though. They've got Markabata coming out already, but you can win wars through, as I've mentioned many times, the AI isn't the cleverest in existence, and you can win wars. We can assimilate Avaris, so we're going to get 4 archers for free. Your Elamites, is that them? No, that's Hyksos. Oh, that's those down in the south. I would not say no to getting them when we can as well. So keep that chugging along because we'll definitely be able to get them soon. And we'll take that hit. That's not a problem at all. So welcome to the fold, Avaris.
An independent people.
Oh, that's
greater
cheeky.
or
Yes,
lesser,
please.
is a building block in
Go with that.
civilization.
We'll go with that first because now influence is less important. We're at a point where already 100 influence a turn is more than enough. And as I say, we get our 4 archers. So let's call them the Eyes. The Eyes? Oh, I never thought of spelling it like that. Let's call it like that. Yeah, what the hell? Just because so you know who they are. And why don't you go and kill those bears? Because we haven't had a battle. And these possibly the bears that killed us at the beginning. Let's show them what we're made of. Where's our 4th archer? There he is. Alright, hello bears. Yeah, that'll do. Everyone's just going to shoot them. You really have to do an arcing shot when they're right in front of you. What? Give them everything you've got. This is, having looked at Endless Legend again, sorry. This really is such an improvement on Endless Legend's combat. The bears come for it, but it's just not good enough. It's wilting under the arrow fire. Yes, and we got a military victory. How many military stars do we need? 9. We have 3. Now, we could kill those, but we don't want to, because when we absorb this nation, we will get all those units for free, and we're going to absorb that nation in 10 turns.
This is good for us.
Oh, the Assyrians want to trade. The Assyrians are getting very friendly with us as well, actually. Are you allies with the Nubians? No. Do you want to be allies, then? Yeah, go on. You have terrible luxuries.
This will be a blessing for all.
Oh, you didn't fancy that, though. That's interesting. We really are in a really good spot. We have the potential to be really strong from here. Everyone else is sandwiched in. You can always just ignore the New World completely and just wipe everybody out. The Darkest Depths is another event for you. Feel free to have a read. Now, this is the first one where we've not seen this before, I don't think, so we can discuss this. These events have a chance of giving you something bad happening. It might be something good, it might be something bad, but it means something might happen. So if we go with dismissing it, we move along this science ideology, and we get 14 industry on Mount Praesius, but at a hit of 10 stability. Or we can investigate it to go closer to collectivism and get plus 10 stability, but something might happen. And we can get faith, and again, something might happen. In this case, I'm going to dismiss it because I like the science line, and I'm happy to take a 10 stability hit from 14 industry to get my harbours up. Oh, look, you're getting to a point as well where the next great temple, that will be Ocean's Bounty to build, actually. So get your farmers' quarters. We'll pay them out for money. Why the hell not? Although, was that going to take 1 turn? Have I just wasted my money? Build me the harbour. No, tell you what, you start building that now. Let's start building that now. Let's go down on that corner there. And then Mount Praesius, you join in when you've built your harbour. Gains in the city of 8 for the lumber there. Did we get the money boost that we expect? Yes, we did. Yeah, that's cheeky. That's very tasty. Very tasty indeed. And we can't call you Avaris, can you? What should we call you? I'll tell you what, let's open it up. If you say Boaty McBoatface, I'm going to ignore you. But name it. Let me know what you want to call Avaris. On the names we've gone for already, I always go with really bizarre names. I like naming things after mountains. Mount Praesius is a good one. But we can't call that Mount. We've already got 1 Mount, haven't we? We've got Ocean's Bounty because it's down here on the ocean sideline. Obviously, Mount Praesius is as well, but this one's more oceanic because this one's got cliffs and stuff. This one actually feels like it's near the ocean. So we've got that. So let me know what you would call Avaris. I am interested. I also do want to attach this region up here to Ocean's Bounty. What's your people? Oh, yes, you're all the way up. You're losing food, in fact. So it's going to cost us, but we're going to see it. All of our jobs are going to fill up. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. You can get another one of those. I do want to get all of those before we go up through the ages, so put that one in next. And Avaris, you're going to take on Al Nassel. Oh, Al Nassel, no. There's a much better place for you. If we go there, we get a flat +1 in industry. If we Go down there, we get +4 at a cost of -1 food. We only make 9 food, but we're about to build a harbour for free. 8
Your
food.
first harbour.
That means that +4 is looking tasty.
Trade.
Because the
Voyages
-5's a big
exploration.
hit, but +4 is
You will
not too
see
bad.
many
Yeah, we're going to
things
go
out of
down
this
there.
tiny window onto a huge world.
And then you can join with Alvaris. Alvaris at the moment, but do let me know. Oh, that's cheeky as well. Yeah, get that in. Get that in. And then you're going to need food desperately, so let's go for the... No, you're fine, actually. You're fine. We don't need to worry about infrastructure. Infrastructure tends to stay around, but there's a research... There is a type of research that we will come to later that you get in Humankind, which is fantastic, that allows you to build cities with all the infrastructure of previous eras already built. It is such a good technology. Right, we're about to get the Influence Star. We're very far away from the Agrarian. We're 3 away from the Builder Star. You're going to get another one there in a moment. That does count as one, I think. And if not, though, we really want to get the Ceremonial Plazas up. You're 15 turns on yours. Can I turn you into that? 4 turns, and then you'll get a boost. And you're 10 turns on that. I'm happy to wait the 10 turns, though, to be honest.
This is good for us.
Oh, the Harapans want to trade. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because we're happy to get Seuss up as well. Where are we on the science? 2 technologies. Do we wait? Oh, 4 and 4. Yes, definitely. We'll wait 8 turns. Well, yeah, we wait the 10 turns then. I know, obviously, we're losing out on all the good civs, but even though we're not advancing, we're now second. We're playing on Empire difficulty, which is 2 above the recommended difficulty. So there's Hamlet and Town, or Beginner and... Well, there's what are there? There's 7 difficulty levels. And we are playing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there are 7. There are 7 difficulty levels. And we're playing on the 5th out of 7. So I didn't want to play on the hardest because I haven't won on the hardest on my own yet. And I wanted to do that off screen. But I've beaten the difficulty level we're currently playing at. I have beaten that on my own before, so I know I can beat it. But in this new version of the game, I mentioned the Bolivar event to you a number of times now. Oh, let's see what we should do here. Make our units move faster. Make more money but less science on... 5 money's nothing, though. This man believes that he should be our leader, if memory serves. Yeah, he's claiming to be a descendant of one of the ancient rulers of Avaris. I'm going to belittle him, sod it. And get the stability boost, not the stability matters. Right, let's see if the religious district will count as a district. So we've got 16 at the moment. We end the turn, and we have 17. Yes, so we only need 1 more, and that one's going to be built in 4 turns. So that's the Builder Stars. Unbelievers, we can start an inquisition in our cities, which sacrifices a population to increase stability. That seems like something you'd never do. Or we can banish people, so sacrifice people to make money. I'm not bothered with either of those, and every civic that you enact makes every other civic cost more. So if you are on the fence about a certain civic, don't do it. If you aren't sure if it's going to benefit you, don't do it, because it makes ones that you might want worse, or harder to get, I should say. Alright, once a wandering tribe, your civilized Neposis is a fine city. Family matters. Do we want... In order to better identify your people, you believe it's time for citizens of the same family to take a common second name. From where should the family name originate? From the mother for faith gain, from the father for law gain, or from nature? Oh, I don't want any of those. Oh, no. Maybe the mother then, because it doesn't move us down out of the ideology. Again, you have 2 options when playing this game. And I absolutely lean towards the latter. I know I haven't told you them yet, but I lean towards the latter. You can either play this purely as basically a very pretty graphical Excel spreadsheet type of game, a spreadsheet manipulator. Or you can kind of role play the game and actually think, what would my people do? What do I want my people to do? Like, as we've seen here where we're going ham on religion. We're going to try and make everyone follow, serve, defend, lead. Maybe we'll even go for the Teutons, which are a civ that many people don't like, but they're really good at spreading their own religion. Their unit does more damage to units from other religions, so they get benefits from that. Are you the ones that I'm about to get? Kassites? No, you're from Der Kurigalzu. That means our archers could go and wet their whistles on you. Yes, you can either play the game, you can roleplay it a bit, or you can be pure-blooded, what's best for my nation right now, I'm going to do that one. Right, let's get the Ceremonial Plaza up. Your Ceremonial Plaza. You've got another one coming in 9 turns. We might be able to auto-build that, actually. Oh, build a star. Yeah, get the builders. Yeah. Chuck that on. And now it's coming in 4 turns. Fantastic. And then we will ascend. We've got 3 turns for that. 4 turns. Yeah, we'll have everything that we're going to get. Oh, they are plundering us. What? You bastards. Get off of my tea. I don't drink tea, but it's a commonly held belief you do not come between an Englishman and his tea. We appropriated tea from China many years ago, and since that time, we have had exclusive right to use and abuse it. I will not see that right given up. I'd quite like Mount Precious to take Shader on to stop these people from being bothered. Oh, hello. Oh, it's because they got our tea, didn't they? Oh, no, it's the... No, what? What did we get that we didn't before? What am I building that on? Nothing. It's Oh, we've got pearls down in the sea. Did I really not know that all this time? Hot diggity damn. Well, get those pearls then. Ocean's Bounty, you haven't got one, have you? No. Oh, the first calendar. Let's keep going down the science line. And oh, another harbour would not say no to another harbour. I'd already built a harbour here, I'm sure. Oh, maybe not. All right, we'll chuck that one in, yeah? It lets you get across there easier. Oh, and another harbour. Oh, that's pretty rubbish, but it'll do. All right, let's also build a garrison. And yeah, we can build it up there. Garrisons allow you to train troops directly onto the garrison. So I know we haven't trained any troops yet, so I haven't really discussed it. But when you actually train your own troops, you can either build them in the centre of a city, which is the default, and it's the city's actual centre. You can't build them on outpost centres. Even if you've attached that outpost to the city, you can't do it. Nothing doing. It won't work. Ah, we can assimilate Seuss. Look at the army that Seuss has got. Oh, yes, please. Welcome to the fold. Ah, but we lost that one because they were actual mercenaries. I should have hired them. That would have worked towards an achievement. So you can see that we're 1 over the city cap at the moment, which means we're losing 10 influence per turn. But we make 117, so it's not the end of the world. And once we go up a tier, we can get another city cap for free anyway. And yeah, so garrisons allow you to train troops directly onto it. So we want that northern border to have one. And similarly in Avaris, one along the border there. Although I've just realised that the Egyptians don't actually border us there. I've only just noticed that. Ugh, idiot. I also don't think we actually do want Seuss as its own city. I think it's going to be an idea to burn that to the ground and attach it to Avaris. It's got 3 people in it at the moment, so I'm not bothered about ransacking it for this moment. You can see that it's already got districts. It's got a Farmer's Quarter, a Maker's Quarter, a Commons Quarter. The AI bloody loves Commons Quarters. And it's got a Research Quarter. Commons Quarter gives stability bonus for all of the adjacent districts, regardless of what type they are. And what you are seeing here is how you get rid of your own cities. You send an army to the center tile and you ransack it. And it's as simple as that. But we didn't really take Seuss for the city. We took it for the army. So knowing that the Egyptians can't get to us then, although they do have seafaring now, or the Carthaginians, sorry, we're not actually that bothered by that. But what we are bothered about is capturing these locations. So let's send the chariots out on their own because they're faster on their own. It costs you more money to have more armies, though. So these 3 armies cost more than if I merged them all. It's a very common feature in these types of games. Smaller, more elite armies are better than bigger, than lots of armies. Right, and you go to that one. And then the one of you... don't know what to do. Are you all spearmen? Jesus, yeah. This is what I mean by the cultural icons as well. This is such a cool feature of this game. If a nation, every time you choose a certain nation, these generic units all take on visuals of your people. So you can see that's a chariot with an Inca kind of South American inspired warrior on the back, which is very cool. You just stay where you are for now. We'll turn you into a 3rd army. Actually, come back to Precious where we will build you into a 3rd army, yeah. All right, we're doing all right. We're going well. We've got a nice little army now. We've got some troops. Oh, Seuss, you've got nothing going on. Yeah, we burn it to the ground and then we rebuild the outpost. And then we build the harbour for using influence rather than industry, which is always good. We've got our science star unlocked. Now is definitely the time to go up there because we're not going to fight anything. Well, we are going to fight them, but we're not going to be able to get the military star. So why are all these people disliking me now? What's happening here? Oh, you've cancelled trade. Why have you cancelled trade? Is someone denying our trade? No, I don't know. We're not at war or anything. I don't know what's going on there.
Friend, it is good to see you.
These people decided to stop my... Oh, no, I stopped their trade. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. I do not know what's happened there. Right, those of you that are moving, move. We've got another civic, because now we've got troops. 30% industry cost, I think, is just always the better option. 1 combat strength is very minor. 30% cheaper units, very useful. But let's... Oh, did we build our... Now we did. Oh, and you can build your pottery workshop for free as well. Let's get a harbour up and running. And attach Cowls Media. Is it worthwhile building one last one of them? Can I build it using money? Well, you're still on the builder thing, aren't you? 3,700 though is a lot. That is an awful lot. I'm not sure we're going to build that. I think we should just go up. No, just get rid of it. Oh, actually, hang on. If you queue it up, doesn't it stay? I'm sure if you queue it up and then go up in age, I'm sure it stays. But let's do it then. That was the Ancient Era. I hope you've learned a great deal about the Ancient Era as we now go into the less than successful picks that we have available to us. So the Romans have been taken. The Romans get one of the best units in this era. It's outrageously good, the Praetorian Guard. But they get a really rubbish emblematic quarter. The 3 influence, 3 stability is awful. And there's a lot of people that suggest that their legacy trait's not that great. 30% army upkeep. Army upkeep's never really a problem. Money is very easy to make. It's difficult to justify that one. They get a cheaper 1 technology. They get cheaper, which is rubbish. And 1 unit slot in every army is good. That does mean that at the end of the game, you can have 9 unit armies where everyone else has 8. But it's the Praetorian Guard you choose the Romans for. The Marians get the influence. We've already covered that. The Celts are all about food, but they also do get a bit of a faith bonus. Their Gaiseti gets fervor. No combat strength penalty from damage. So no matter how damaged they are, they always do the maximum damage themselves. They're a very, very good unit. Carthaginians, as I say, Carthaginians are a good one. The Kothon is a very useful district. It's a better harbour. They get 25% cheaper when buying out buildings, and the War Elephant is an excellent chariot. It's just a really strong chariot. The Greeks have gone. They are a science nation. I think they are the only science nation, actually, if memory serves, in this era. Yes, they are. So the Greeks are gone. That means that they could potentially research into the next era, as I've mentioned already. And the Hoplite is, again, another very good unit. But their district's a bit difficult to justify. It's not as good. And the 2 science per researchers is it's a bit meh. So we've got the Achaemenid Persians, who get 2 extra cities than everyone else, which is very helpful, and 10 stability on all your cities and outposts. So that's not attached territories. So if you attach a territory, you don't get an extra 10 stability on every territory. It's only on your cities themselves and outposts while they are outposts. Satrap's Palace gives money and influence. The Immortals are a really very good unit. I've won a game before on the strength of how good they are defensively. They're a fantastic little unit. Satrap's Palace is all right. I do like the Achaemenids because of the 2 city cap. You just can't deny that. Expansionist Civ's not the best, though. Maya, they are the builder civ of this era, and they get extra faith from their districts as well. So we might want to go for that because we are going for a faith-themed playthrough, and it keeps us in South America. Note, they are not one of the new civs from the Latin America pack. That is the Nazca, who are an Aesthite one. They get 1 bonus emblematic district on their territories that contain a natural wonder. Now, we have a natural wonder, so we would be able to build 2 emblematic districts in any territory that has a natural wonder. Which is reasonably good. Outrageous. Nazca lines, though, 2 influence. That's it, a flat 2 influence. But it does give faith as well. That's a really interesting one. You can stay as the same civ, I should also say, and it gives you a 10% additional fame gain multiplier per era. Although we are now actually winning. Jesus. Maybe I'm better at this than I thought. The Axumites give money and faith and money again. 2 money on tile producing money is really bad. That sounds like it might be good, but it is not at all. Hardly any tiles produce money. That is almost useless. The Great Obelisk, though, plus 1 money per territories under the religion's influence. Again, it links into religion, so if we can spread our religion, we get more money. They get the Shotlai as a larger zone of control, so units can't run past it in battle. Then, I'm not fussed about them. Garamantes get extra food when they they get food in the desert. So they're a civ that can make use of the desert, which is very handy. They're from the Cultures of Africa pack. And they get 5 influence as long as their city is growing, as in it has a food surplus. The Goths are one of the 2 military civs, and they are pretty useless, to be honest. It's not even really worth touching on them. 10 combat strength and ransacking is so meh. 2 influence on garrison is all right, but it's just you hardly build any. The Tumulus, again, it's all about faith. It's a bit bizarre. And 3 influence. The Gothic cavalry is good. They're the first heavy cavalry unit, and they're very strong. But they're just a bit naff. If you want military, you go Huns. The Huns get a very strong unit called a Hunnic Horde. Every time it fights in a battle, if it wins that battle, it multiplies. So if you have 2 Hunnic Horde units in an army, and it wins a number of battles, it'll double up to 4. And so on and so forth. It just keeps generating its own units. So the more aggressive you are, the better your army becomes. But they pay for that in that they can't attach outposts to cities. So you can turn outposts into cities, but you can't attach existing outposts to cities for the entire duration of you being the Huns. So they're all or nothing. So really, we are on a toss-up between the Persians, the Maya, or going with the Nazca and sticking with the new DLC nations. I'm not bothered about the Garamantes at the moment, although they are agrarian, and we could do with more food. And having influence from our city, I'd actually be quite tempted with that. Although the Nazca, I'm tempted with the Nazca because they're new, basically. They get a headhunter unit, Shared Ardor. When this unit destroys an enemy in battle, it inspires in all its allies and provides them with a strength bonus, basically. But I'd be tempted with them because they're new. But the Maya are probably the objectively best option here. But the 2 cities on the Persians is good, particularly in a new world game. And I love the Immortals. They're so strong. They're stronger when they fight from high ground or fortified positions. So as long as they're on the defensive, they're just outrageous. And they can kill units that have no right. They have no right to kill. They can kill them through their benefit. But I play as them a lot. I'm going to go with the Nazca because we're already winning. And I've never played as them. So let's do it. Oh, that's a cool outfit as well.
As urban centres grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability. A new future awaits. Let us see if this culture will bring your dreams or your nightmares to fruition.
Nazca. You might know the Nazca, indeed, from their emblematic quarter, because they are famous for having designed huge, like they dug into the ground to create patterns of animals that can only be seen from space or from high above. But they didn't have a way of going high above and seeing these patterns. It really is an absolute feat that they were able to build these. It's definitely worth checking out if you're unfamiliar what the Nazca lines are. Right, let's fight these bastards that just took my tea away from me. You don't get my tea. It is always good to be the attacker, particularly as the game goes on, because as the attacker, you get to go first, which means you can do enough damage usually to kill something so that it won't then damage you back. And in this instance, we're going to try and kill this warrior, because the warrior will do a lot of damage to us. Oh dear, he's getting a lot of defense, isn't he? Holy hell, 25! Christ alive. He might lose an archer. It's not the end of the world. But now he's lost the defensive ability, and it's dropped to 21. He's also taking more damage because he's now wounded. Let's go up onto that high ground. I don't think it actually matters for archers. Oh no, +4 from high ground. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a... Down they go. Oh, he's shooting back. Pathetic. Can't believe they took my tea. Disgusting behaviour. Absolutely disgusting. Right, so because we are the Nazca, our emblematic district can be built twice in Ocean's Bounty because it's got a natural wonder. Oh, a natural wonder. Oh, and why don't you chuck your harbour in for free? What the hell? And we got a builder star. Yeah, I know that. I've been seeing that already. We can claim a wonder. Let's do that before everyone gets them all. Statue of Zeus gives us 20 faith, 40 stability, 5% money per alliance, and 10 stability on the city it's built in. So it's 40 stability to your every city, I think. and then an extra 10 on the one it's built in. Or is it 40 stability to your nation state? But your nation state is dictated by how your cities are doing. Anyway, the Statue of Zeus is very good, if alone for the faith and the stability. The 5% money's not that great. We make 127, so 5% of that is about 7-ish, 6-ish, something like that. 6.5, is it? Or 6.35? And we got 2, so we get about an extra 10 gold. It's nothing really. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus gives you 2 science per district on the city it is built in, and again gives you the stability and the fame. They all give you fame, so they're always very good, worthwhile going for. The lighthouse would have been good because it makes you move further in water. I'm going to go for the statue because it gives the faith generation, and stability is always wonderful. Now, the way wonders work is once you've claimed them, that's it, they're yours. You might not decide to ever build it, but no one else can now ever build that one. But you can't claim another wonder until you have built that one. So there is reason to get it built as quickly as possible. Alright, I assume our strain stability is coming from Avaris. You're dropping to 0% because we've got a 44% deficit. Holy hellfire. You really need the Statue of Zeus here then, don't you? That's because of all the districts in this city. That's why that is. And because of all the districts I just built. Yes, I think we should probably rush the construction of the statue. What everyone else is doing. Oh, you need food. You're terribly low on food. That'll keep you plus pointing for a while. You need food as well, but you're building a food thing. Alright, yeah, let's build the statue. Now, wonders also harvest all the tiles around them, so they will exploit everything around them. So building it out here, for example, is pretty good, because it will claim all of those things. And it looks good, because it's out on a peninsula, looking over the sea, isn't it? 15 turns to build that. Jeebus. That's going to take some doing. And even then, we're still not going to have plus stability. We need to build garrisons or destroy some of these. Or what's happened with our trade? The Syrians have nothing. Well, let's wait on the trade. We don't have enough money really to actually do anything anyway. But let's move that army up to the front line. No good in the corner. But now that we've taken a sieve and we've moved into the next era, I think I'm going to. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do the ends of these episodes because I don't know how much of this episode I've cut out. Oh, knowledge authorities. Can't get it yet anyway. I don't know how much of this episode I've cut out, so I don't actually know how long this episode's going to be in the final cut. But I'm going to end this episode there. However long this is, I don't know. I'm aiming for them to be about an hour in length because you're getting them only once a week. And at the minute, we're an hour and 20 minutes all told. So hopefully when I cut stuff out, that will be about where we need to be. So that is going to end episode number 2. So I will announce the winner in a moment. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, thank you very much. I'm going to record that on Wednesday. So it's Monday at the moment. I'm going to record who wins on Wednesday. So that I choose the winner every Wednesday. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope, again, I've explained everything that I'm doing well enough and that you're all enjoying listening to the glorious soundtrack and then delighting in the visuals. Because I just love this game and I'm so pleased to be playing it for YouTube. Please do let me know what you would call Avaris. And again, please do comment on the video for your chance to win a free copy of Humankind. I've got 2 more to give away. And so you can win one in this game and you can win one in the 3rd episode as well. So do stay tuned. Do comment for that. But also just comment for the name of Avaris and just let me know your thoughts on what you think we should do and where we should go. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And until we speak again, Navair den Pedimad Melonin. And farewell. Congratulations to user RTD. You have been selected as the winner in the 1st episode with a comment of love your DAC videos and had been skeptical of Humankind, but this looks great. Excited to watch the playthrough. Many congratulations indeed. You have won a copy of Humankind. Just contact me on Discord and I will get the key over to you. If you have any trouble with Discord, then post a comment on YouTube and I will find another way to get it to you. But Discord is the easiest way.